Hey, hello out there, people. Welcome to Tweed Talk.
Good evening.
We look a little bit different today. My wife is out in assignment. Hold on a second, let me close this door. Oh, we have as a co-host today, Cris Spinner.
Hello. I'm honored to be here.
Honored to be here. It's an honor for us that you are here.
Oh, thank you.
And I thank you for pitching in for my wife.
Of course.
You know, of course, my wife is always traveling, always doing something. She went to Charleston.
What? Now, what's she doing there?
She does PR for this company,
Okay.
and they have some equipment that they showing. You know, they do like advertisement.
Right. Well, she does the spokesperson
Yeah, she's a spokesperson
on social media.
Right. And that's exactly what she's doing. But she gets to travel all over. Last time she was traveling she went to Vegas, you know, and they have all kind of different equipment like TV, you know, some of this equipment here, you know, like that rug and things like that is from there. Now,
yeah, I recognize from the videos.
you recognize the video. Yeah. So she's doing that, and it has been a very busy weekend for her.
Okay.
So we really glad that you said yes
to
come
and
do
it. Of course.
And would you have
Sitting in
some
Crystal's chair. Good thing.
Yeah. So the first thing that you said that if we're going to have a co-host is that we have somebody that is a performer, and you have your own podcast.
Yeah, that I also started during the pandemic as well.
Mm-hmm.
It was called Live from the Wish House.
Mm-hmm.
My son named our house the Wish House. That's another story. But yeah, it was called Live from the Wish House. And for a year and a half, I broadcasted every single night, 5 nights a week.
Right.
And but then as people went out into the world,
Mm-hmm.
they start to cut back. And so now I'm kind of venturing into podcasting and kind of revamping the Live from the Wish House thing.
That's awesome. And you know, we started by the same time, probably because of the same reason. And you know, we're not going to talk a lot about it because we're going to have you on as a guest.
Yeah, that would be great. Okay, yeah, I'll wait for Christmas.
One of the things that I saw was I saw you playing the piano, you know.
Yeah.
You know, so we could do some musical stuff when you come back.
That'll be fun.
That
Okay,
would be
good.
Awesome.
Yeah, we'll have a little music to it.
The guitar.
All right, that's good.
So that would be good.
I'm in.
And so did you teach?
I did.
Yeah.
I was a music educator for 39 years
Mm-hmm.
in Westchester County. Started in Yonkers, and then I went off to Harrison, where I retired from
Mm-hmm.
in 2019. Moved permanently to Sullivan County just in time to get locked in my house for the pandemic. So
Awesome.
but I didn't have to teach virtually, so that was good.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
I have my official Tweed Talks mug.
Yeah, some people. Well, we used to have those mug, and we will ask all your questions.
Yeah.
And then we went.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I used to do a couple of giveaways.
We used to do. Oh yeah, we used to do it every day as well.
Yeah.
When we first started, you know, first we started by doing exercise
Right.
tips. Because people were, I'm gonna get all out of shape.
Yeah.
So we started doing that, and then I started inviting all my friends. Now it turns out that like the person that we had last week was also one of my former gymnasts.
Okay.
And Brian, and he was my gymnast when he was very little.
Really?
I was trying to find a picture of him, but I don't know if we would like it. But I was trying to find a picture when he was little. Yeah, I think he would have. And Brian and I hung out more than I thought. As I was telling you earlier.
Right.
Yeah, because I thought, I was talking to him one time, and then he said, "Oh yeah, I was there with you." And I said, "You were?" So we traveled together to different places. He was first my gymnast, and then he became my student as a martial art.
Okay, all right.
So then he was doing martial art and also was doing Tai Chi.
Okay.
And there's a lot of things that he's going to talk about besides the cooking, which I think is fantastic.
Yeah, I think it's fantastic too, because I'm the worst cook. Just gonna tell you.
Yeah.
I need Brian in my world.
And and when I show you, you're going to see that a lot of people are going to need Brian.
Yeah.
I was actually going to ask you to go to the restaurant with me and this weekend.
Okay.
but my wife was performing, so we couldn't do
That would have been fun.
Yeah,
Okay.
that
So
would
look,
be
we
fun.
need to arrange check with Crystal when she
But
comes back.
we are gonna get there.
Crystal, you listening? When you get back.
Yeah, I don't know. She's even she's probably out there doing some commercials right now. But anyway, yeah, we had I know Brian for a long time, and we hung out together, and and then he went away, became an adult, and then he came back. And most of my gymnasts, I have noticed this, that when they come as a little kid, they might gymnastic, and then later on when they grow up, they always come back and study martial art. And I don't know how that happened.
Yeah.
But most of my boys.
Well, they probably get inspired by what you're doing there at a young age, and they want to return for that. And I saw it today. I was there 15 minutes. Oh my God, these kids are phenomenal. They just won first place.
They are awesome. Yeah, yeah.
Oh my goodness.
And they were working hard.
And the swinging on the, I don't know.
And they love to show off.
Yeah, they did, but they were great. They were really great.
Yeah.
And very personable too.
Yes.
Good kids.
Yes, they are. They're actors as well. So, hey, Carmen. Hey, Les Cris.
Oh, Chris. Yes, of course. Oh, I see the comments now. All right. Okay. Hey.
Let me see.
There's our friend Les. We love Les. Les got me in the Rotary. Les got me in the Rotary.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, I think Lori got Crystal in the Rotary.
Carmen, that's my sister-in-law.
Ah, okay. Hi, Carmen. Welcome. Oh, Les is laughing.
Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show a video of him doing some kind of stuff. I was trying to get the other one, but I for some reason it wouldn't.
Yeah, computers, they have
their
own mind. They have their own mind.
Yeah, but I'm going to show a video and then we're going to have Brian on.
Okay, great. Good.
Video is down here. Okay, so this is Brian doing his stuff.
Okay.
Fresh mozzarella, barrel 28. Let me know what you think in the comments.
Hey, Brian.
Hey guys. Luckily my cooking skills are a little bit better than my fresh mozzarella, than my video making skills.
Oh my God, my jaw's close to the ground. That's amazing to watch that.
Yeah, I had trouble with my audio on the video, so I didn't say much throughout it. And,
we can hear you.
Okay, good.
Yeah, so how you doing? How you been? Uh-oh.
There we go. I'm doing well. I'm doing really good. I'm doing outstanding. How you guys doing tonight?
We're good.
We are good.
I'm Cris, Brian.
Say hello to
Pleasure to
Cris.
meet you. Pleasure to meet you.
Cris, it's a pleasure to meet you.
And you're at Barrel 28. And where is that? Is that in Goshen?
Just outside of Goshen. It's in Florida, New York, on
Okay. That is.
North Main Street in Florida.
Okay.
We're about
Wow.
7 miles outside of Warwick.
All right. Yeah, I know where that is.
And how long have you been working there, Brian?
Here, I've been almost 3 years. June 8th will be 3 years. We opened on June 8th of 2021, right after things opened back up from COVID.
This isn't, you're there. You're chef at this restaurant.
Yes. Yeah, I'm the head chef here.
That's great.
Yeah. So listen, I know you since you were a little kid. I was telling Cris that I know you. So I remember you used to have the spike hair.
Yeah.
You were little, and we did the gymnastics. And then for some reason, every boy that I have always come back and start studying martial art with me after gymnastics. And the same thing happened with you. What made you want to come back? Because I know I taught your brother martial art.
I think I had always heard from my brother how great of a teacher you were, and I took martial arts from Henry Shawn when I was younger, just getting out of high school, and I didn't take it seriously. And I hit a point in my life where physical health became much more important, and I figured you were in Monticello and I was in Monticello, that all the good things that I heard from my brother, I definitely wanted to get involved in what you were doing. We had a good class at that time too.
Yeah, we did. We had a lot of good people there. Some of them went up and opened up their own school. And then, what got you started with the cooking?
Cool. Wow, that's a long story. I think cooking, I've always been cooking. I started, I don't know, I have good childhood memories of being in the kitchen with my mother. I think that's a lot of chef stories, is just young childhood memories being in the kitchen while mom's baking, and the warmth of the kitchen. And every time you cook, it seems to bring people together. There's a certain amount of fellowship that comes along with cooking. And I started cooking when I was 16. First restaurant I ever worked in was, I was a busboy at Club Escoffier at Monticello Raceway when it was open and just out of its heyday, and got a taste of what restaurant life was like. And then when I graduated high school, I moved down to Florida and started dishwashing at Eastside Mario's. And within like 6 months, they decided to put me on the line, and I've been doing it ever since. And I did for a short period of time in New York before I moved to Florida. I was washing dishes at the restaurant in Rock Hill that was the old homestead at the time. But that's where it all started, and it's a long line of restaurants since then. But I think I found my home here at Barrel 28.
Did you go to school for this? You went to school, or you just learned as you went along?
I just learned as I went along. A lot of chefs say that they're self-taught. I don't believe that any chef is self-taught, because anytime you pick up a cookbook or you watch a video, you're learning from that chef that wrote that book, or from that chef that made that video. So no one's self-taught, but I definitely learned a lot from other chefs. Just kept my mouth shut and my ears and eyes open, and humbled myself and absorbed as much as I could.
See, that's inspirational to me, especially if young people are listening, or when they revisit this on YouTube, that you started at an entry-level position. You weren't afraid of the hard work of the dishwashing and the bussing, while you said keeping your ears open and kind of watching, and look where you are now. That's amazing. It's great.
That's the best. For some of you go ahead, Brian.
I was going to say, absolutely. And a lot of people think you go to culinary school and you come out a chef. You don't. You come out a cook with a degree. So if you go to culinary school, you're still going to have to go through the whole earning your stripes in the kitchen. And not that I disagree with culinary school. I think there's so much to learn. And honestly, if I could take the time off and I could go now, there's still so much more to learn. I think that's the most important thing about it, is to continue to be teachable, to be desiring to learn, and whatever it is that you're doing. If you're passionate about it, then there's always something new that's going on. The industry is moving so fast that there's always new things going on.
That's so important in everything, that you continually see yourself as a student of what it is that you're doing. So yeah, that's great. When you cap yourself off, that's never a good thing.
This is
not whatsoever.
Yeah, this is not just your spaghetti and meatball.
No, no.
I'm going to show some of the plates that Brian has made. Look at this.
Oh my goodness. I'm just laughing because I am the world's worst.
Well,
I can't cook. I can't cook. I used to love to be in the kitchen as well with my mother, but I just wanted to eat. I didn't really want to learn. I'm like Carrie Bradshaw. She said on Sex in the City, she keeps her clothes in the oven. And I'm not that bad, but I'm pretty close. I'm pretty close. So I'm in awe.
You said not another plate. Look at
Oh
that.
my God.
That
Well, that's shepherd's pie from
Okay.
from St. Patrick's Day.
That's great. That's the shepherd's pie. Oh, that's great. Wow. Oh, that's St. Patrick's Day too, I bet.
Yeah, that was St. Patrick's Day as well.
Yum. Oh.
It's one of our pizzas. We make everything at Barrel's made in-house. We make everything from scratch. All our pizza dough, all our sauces, pretty much everything's made in-house.
Yeah. I was so impressed and mesmerized when we were watching that video that you made that cheese from scratch. And she was ready. She was ready to leave and go and
I know. I said, you know, we can't reach in and get some. That was amazing. That's amazing. And it was all packaged exactly perfect.
Go ahead.
And it's really so easy. It's you take your cheese curd and hot water. You got to salt your water even more. They say like this, even more than the sea, because that's where your mozzarella is going to get all its flavor from. Is the salt water, and it's time and temperature. You just gotta feel the mozzarella. When it becomes smooth, start rolling it into balls. We do logs because we're gonna cut them for capreses and for our margarita pizza, and to put in a mixed cold cut wrap that we do. But it's called a barrel wrap. But balls, you roll balls a little bit different. There's a different technique when you buy the ball at the store that's in the water than rolling a log, but both very similar.
Wow, that's amazing.
That is amazing. Look,
that's grilled octopus.
I was just gonna say, is that
octopus?
Yeah, it looks beautiful, but I'm gonna stick with the shepherd's pie or whatever that is.
That's a pan-seared red snapper.
Yeah,
beautiful.
You say you're gonna make a plate for my wife. This salmon,
Look
right?
at that. That's amazing.
Yeah, that's pan-seared
so beautifully.
Salmon with tomato bruschetta.
This is all your work.
Production.
All your work.
Yeah, every one of them.
Wow, the plating is beautiful.
Thank you.
How much is the presentation? I mean, the taste got to be good, but how much is the presentation? People like the presentation the way that you.
People do. I'm a firm believer that you can make it look real good, but unless it tastes good,
right?
It does. Right.
It's a little bit old school to say that people eat with their eyes first. I think in today's, since everything is moving so fast, people understand that it's all about the flavor. I try to plate everything nice and do everything, but some things need to be rustic. I think there's a certain charm to some rusticity.
Yeah. Well, that all looks good. Good enough.
Looks amazing. We're gonna go there.
Look at it and,
that pizza
eat it. That is amazing. So
I'll be glad to have you guys.
Yeah. So yeah, we're definitely gonna go when my wife comes back. She's coming back tomorrow, so we're trying to plan something when we're gonna have a gymnastic meet.
Yeah.
You know. So we have two more, and then we're gonna call you and we're gonna go down there and have some food. So you also have entertainment over there at the 28th.
Yeah, we do on Fridays and Saturdays. We always have live bands on Fridays and Saturdays, and we try to do small artists, local artists, and as we were talked about earlier today, local tri-state area, not necessarily local to Florida, New York, but yeah, it's quite a place, Barrel 28. We get some good bands in, we get a nice crowd, and it's never really a really late crowd, which is great.
Yeah, that's good. That's good. So it doesn't get you rowdy. Just a really great, solid time.
Yeah, absolutely.
You get anybody from up here from Monticello coming down to just see you? Because they know.
I have Jamie Coliani came in. You remember Jamie? She was one of your students as well. Really? Jamie Coliani came in. Roy Lowe came in. That was he worked with me at the Cartwright when I was a sous chef at the Cartwright Resort and Water Park. Jason Brooks has come down. Greg Parliament has come down. Obviously, my family, my brother Rick, his daughters Tiffany and Jessica and Courtney have come out to eat. My mom and dad. Oh, one other thing, we also do comedy shows. Like
Nice.
one Thursday every 3 months, we host 3 or 4 comedians, and it includes a 3-course meal. And then after the meal, there's a comedy show to follow.
That's awesome.
You guys are probably busy as can be.
Yeah, we sell out most events for the comedy show. We've sold out, which is great. We can sit about 60 people in the back room. That's where I'm sitting right now. And once it's at capacity, we save the front dining room for a la carte.
I can't even imagine because my wife asked me to cook for like for church or for somebody, and I do my famous rice and bean, and she asked me, I need a lot of work, so I can't even imagine you with all those people how stressful that could be for you.
It can be. It's controlled chaos, I call it. It's there's always that thing that pops up that you didn't expect. It's kind of got a plan to expect the unexpected. And
Mhm.
I always prep for 5 more people than I'm planning on having. And yeah, there's honestly the industry. There is a lot of stress that goes into it. It's I mean, that leads me to another point that I'd like to make, and just stress to anybody that is listening. It's important to note to be conscious of mental health in the food and beverage industry, along with others. But it's a pretty thankless position. It's we got to take pride in what we do and the joy that we bring to the table. But 12 hours a day, 6 days a week, and then early on in your career, you want to go out with all your staff afterwards and have a great time, and then you turn around and 10 years is gone, and you've done that every day. And I'm in a good place right now. I've been clean and sober for quite a few years now, and I'm proud of that. But
Congratulations.
that's not everyone in the industry. There is alcoholism and addiction runs pretty rampant in this industry.
Yeah,
So it's good to just note and keep an eye on your mental health in this industry because it can fall to the wayside.
Yeah,
Awesome.
because you're away from family so much, you're away from home, your vacations are few. And it's kind of rapid fire. You don't know what people are going to order. So you're
Yeah.
kind of going from one thing to the other.
Mhm.
Like I was just thinking that while you were talking. I said, yeah, kind of forget that 5
Yeah.
people come in
Yeah.
and they're going to order 5 different things. And you're in charge of that all being executed correctly and deliciously.
And you have to
That alone.
you have to prepare way before the people come in
Yeah.
and order. So that's a lot of long hours.
Yeah, a lot goes into 1,000 things have to go right to have a good dinner service. And one thing goes wrong, it can send things off the rail. But most of the times we execute it really well. And I'll always say that it's all about the preparation. You put the time into the preparation, and then it takes the stress out of the service. All your stuff has to be done. Like if you're on the fish station, you have to have your salmon cut, you have to have your snapper filleted, you have to have all your mise en place together, all your sides before you go into dinner. If you're not ready, it's like the law of attraction. The universe will know that you don't have that, and that's what'll get ordered. So it's
And that's
very important to have everything situated and ready to go.
Yeah, and meanwhile, you're in the kitchen. I mean, every once in a while, I've been to a restaurant where the chef comes out for some reason, but the chefs usually don't come out. So really, your interaction is just with the wait staff, and you're having this great meal, and you're creating this whole thing, and it's kind of sad in a way that we never get to say how great this is and to tell you that. We're always just interacting with wait staff, That's kind
Yeah, I agree. Sorry, Pete, go right ahead.
You have people that tell you that how good the food is too, right?
Yeah, we hear about it. And a good thing is that in today's age, kitchens are moving towards more open kitchens
right.
where you can see what's going on. There's one station here at Barrow where you can see the pizza and your salad being made, and they can interact with the customers. But the main kitchen is closed. But a lot of kitchens nowadays are open so that you can get a full view of what's going on with your food. And also that chef can see the look on your face when he put all that time into your dish and then you eat it. Because there's a lot of gratification that comes from that.
Sure.
Yeah. So you know what I think, that you told me that it's always busy. So where your gratification come from? The fact that it's always busy, that means that people are saying,
Right.
this is a good chef over there, so you got to go over there. Otherwise, you wouldn't be busy.
This is true.
So
This is true.
even if they don't say it out loud, they say it with their action because they keep showing up.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah,
And I
because
got a great team. You know, I can never take credit for everything. It
mhm,
doesn't happen every day without my hardworking dishwashers. They are the motor of the kitchen. That without them, I'm not
mhm,
going anywhere. I'm not doing anything. And also, all my cooks that show up every day and work
yeah,
as hard as I do and put in the hours that they do, all to serve the customer. You know, and it's kind of astounding to see. It's like a symphony. It's like being a conductor of a symphony to watch it all happen.
mhm. That's absolutely awesome. Do you used to be a personal chef too, for some people, right?
I've done a couple small parties. I've never actually considered myself a personal chef, but I've done some catering events that were for um, no one of note, but I've done some things on my own. But I wouldn't have considered myself a personal chef. I did work down in Manhattan for quite a few years early on in my career. Cooked for Rosie Perez, Dan Aykroyd, Elton John, the
Nobody.
president of Mexico at that time.
Those names don't ring a bell.
Um, Les Chris wants to know how many people you
How many people work
work
with
with you.
We have about 7 on staff in the kitchen on a daily basis.
You don't like
From
Les is going to be going over there now, right?
you? Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
good, it'd be great to see you, Les.
Yeah, if you don't mind me saying that, that's great
I
to
haven't,
have somebody ask questions.
Mhm.
yeah,
Stop.
so I haven't seen Les. Used to come into the Wet Noodle. I had a restaurant in Maga Valley from 2008 to 2012 called the Wet Noodle. Les used to come in all the time.
Okay,
Mhm.
less is the best.
And then you also did the raceway, right?
I did when the Raceway first opened as the casino, being the Racino at the time. I was started as sous chef there in 2004 to 2008, and then opened my own place from 2008 to 2012.
Mm-hmm.
And then after my restaurant, I worked at Trump National Golf Club in Hopewell Junction in Stormville as a sous chef for 2 seasons. And then I was at Limoncello's in Goshen. Early on, I moved around every couple years. Not that I felt that I had learned everything, but at the time, head chef positions were hard to come by. And if you'd learn everything that the sous chef could learn, then you've done your job. It was time to move on to somewhere else. But yeah, I did Trump National Golf Club. I was at Limoncello's for a couple of years, and then the Cartwright opened, and
Yeah.
I was a sous chef at the Cartwright Resort and Water Park.
Uh-huh.
That was, I would have to say, the most I've learned in an opening ever. I worked under Chef Rocco Pacera, and we had 3 sous chefs. We had a food and beverage director, an executive chef, and we had 14 food and beverage outlets throughout the building.
Wow.
And we were in charge of all of it. And we got into the building before we were open, and we're part of the whole opening team. And the scale of opening 14 food and beverage outlets was astonishing to me, and to just see it all to come together. Commonly, my chef would tell me, "Trust the process. Trust the process."
Okay, so my
And
wife. Yeah, go ahead. Keep going. Keep going.
and to see it all come to fruition and open and run as smoothly as it did was amazing. I see Crystal there. Hey, Crystal.
Yeah, she said
I was
hello,
gonna say she said hi.
and she also said Crystal looks different
Yes,
tonight.
I look different tonight.
Yeah, you know when you came and started doing the martial art with me, my wife remembered that you were throwing some hard kicks at her.
Oh, well, who when I came in and trained the first night that I was doing martial arts, I think I came to the aerobic kickboxing classes a couple
Right.
times before I started the martial arts. Crystal was tough. I was afraid. I remember you asking me like, "Oh, why you throwing them kicks so hard?" And I was like, I was literally intimidated, but
She,
learned to tone it down a bit.
she said don't tell that story. Do you know this young lady right here, Katie Conklin?
Katie Conklin.
Hey, Katie, that's my brother Jason's wife.
She said
Yeah.
nothing
Jason
but
was one of your students as well. Hey, Katie, how are you?
Thank you for watching, Katie.
thanks for tuning in.
No, our next door neighbor says hello. And Dee Schneider,
Says, hey.
hi. I'm Patricia. You know her?
Patricia Shiner. Am I saying it correctly?
Yeah.
Says, good evening.
I don't know. The name is ringing a bell, but I can't see the picture well. But good evening. Great to see you. Thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, Patricia. I think her boo is a chef.
Okay.
I know I used to teach her niece in gymnastics. But everybody's saying hello. Carmen is saying hello. And of course, Chris said hello. Hello, everybody. Do you have any questions for Brian about cooking?
Yeah, if anybody has a question, let us know and we'll get that.
Put it up,
Okay,
yeah.
there's Katie. Okay. Okay. Let us know if you have any questions.
What is your specialty? I know that you did the fish, and my wife. You say you're gonna make when we go over there, you're gonna order some fish. I think that's what. Do you do any like allergy-free stuff? Like
Oh, we will accommodate any allergies, gluten-free restrictions, any dietary restrictions that someone has. I would just let your server know, and they'll work with me, and I'll come up with something.
Now, what's your specialty? If you had one thing that.
That's funny. I just asked that. I'm looking at the question.
Oh, it's not, but yeah. What I was just gonna say.
What's your favorite
What
dish
is your
to make?
favorite dish?
That's got to be Mark, Barrel 28. What's your favorite dish
Hello,
to
Mark.
make? I don't do it often here because of other responsibilities, but I love to make fresh pasta. That's where the wet noodle came from. I find some zen and peace in actually making the dough and making the noodles and turning the dough into shapes and then creating a pasta dish. There's one in particular that I like. I make fresh tagliatelle, spinach tagliatelle with sauteed spinach, shrimp, and marinated tomatoes and garlic and oil sauce. That's personally my favorite. I like making ravioli. I like making tortellini. I have made that dish here once. It's just difficult to free myself up the allotted time. Pasta's time sensitive, so once you start it, you have to finish it because the dough will dry out on you. But yeah, I call it spinach tagliatelle in a Florentine sauce.
Wow.
Spinach, tomatoes, shrimp or chicken.
Wow.
That's a,
I didn't eat yet. I'm beginning to think that I'm
I know.
hungry.
I know all watching the food.
So, my wife said that we almost made it, which is true. We were close, but we'll be stopping in soon.
Awesome. Be great to see you guys.
As soon as we we have so many things that we're doing right now. And Jessica, hey Jessica, how you doing, Jessica?
Oh, so proud of you and lucky to have you as my uncle. Best chef, makes 5-star dishes, she said.
Absolutely.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for tuning in. I love you.
That pasta making is time consuming. My sister-in-law's family does it. They're from Italy and they used to do it a lot, but it's a whole family event. Everybody comes and it's an all-day thing, because they would make a lot for everybody to have. But yeah, that's daunting.
You have to spin it and things like that, right? You have to do all that.
I mean, you can roll it out by hand with a rolling pin. You can use a hand cranked machine. It really depends on what shape you're making. You can make orecchiette, which is little. They look like little cups, and they don't take a machine. You can do the well method with your pot, with your flour and the egg on the table, and then roll it into logs and cut little pieces. And it just takes a little wooden paddle that you form the orecchiette on. Same thing with the gnocchi. There's no real machinery needed, and there's not much working of the dough. But when you get into your flatter, longer pastas or your raviolis, but I use a sheeter. It's an attachment that either clips to the table and you hand crank it, or you connect one to your KitchenAid and the motor moves the wheels on the mill on the sheeter and stretches it out flat. And then most of those machines have a cutting head that you attach to. And once again, you could use a knife or a pizza cutter. You don't need to use machinery, but there's machinery either connects on your KitchenAid, and then you cut it to the shape that you want. And then there are ravioli molds, or you can do it by hand. And I tend to use what I call it's a ravioli die. It's a flat plastic plate that has the space for the filling to fall into, so that when you put the top sheet on it, it presses together. I mean, you don't have to worry about getting so much air out of the ravioli, because that's a problem with raviolis. If there's air inside, they tend to burst when you boil them.
I think that's the secret there, that you make everything from scratch. Because, when people go to a restaurant and say, how come I try to do the same food at home, it doesn't taste the same?
Yeah.
Even if you have the recipe, because you're not making everything from scratch and fresh like you do.
It's true. I think making things from scratch, I think that's where the pride in it comes from me. Like, I mean, right down to making our own burgers and the mozzarella. And I think it's important to start with a good sauce. Like, we save all our vegetable scraps to make chicken stock, so nothing goes in the garbage. We save any beef trimmings. I know you saw the video of me cleaning the beef. All those trimmings get saved. None of that ends up in the garbage. That would be the equivalent of using a beef bone to make a brown stock. And everything goes into one sauce or another. And then if you start with a good sauce, more likely that you're going to end up with a good sauce on the plate. If you have a good fresh chicken stock, if you have a good strong beef velouté or a chicken velouté to start with, then much more likely to have a good sauce on the plate.
I can tell you have such pride in what you do, just by the way you speak about it, which is probably why the food is so amazing, because I can see it when you talk. It must be, you put your whole heart and soul into it.
I was trying to get that video that you sent me, and for some reason it wouldn't upload to StreamYard.
Yeah, we couldn't get that one.
I was really trying, but you could see that this looks delicious right there.
Oh, I know, that's amazing.
That's a handmade pasta dish. That might even be from the wet noodle. I've made a couple here, but that just doesn't look like our plates. But regardless, it's mine.
I have a question. So when you go home, do you cook at home, or are you like, everybody leave me alone?
To me, I think I really don't. I take it as an advantage to eat out. On my one day off, I just let someone else cook for me and enjoy the fact that I don't have to cook that day. But I tend to cook for other people. If I have guests, I love to cook. But if it's for myself, I'll have to look into that and spend some time thinking about that, like why it is that I don't cook for myself. But
I play piano. I played all day teaching. I was just on the piano all day with choruses and musical theater. And I had a piano at home, and everybody would say, oh, you're so lucky you go home at night and you probably just play. And I was like, yeah, no. I come home and the last thing I'm doing is playing the piano, because it was my work all day, which I loved. I completely loved it. But I wanted to come home and take that break from it. It was an excuse to, not do that. But now I do more because I'm not working. But
yeah, absolutely. There's a joke out there in our industry that's a lot of people say, oh, if you want to eat well, date a chef. Well, that might not necessarily be the case, because generally we want in our spare time to have someone cook for us, whether it's paid for or someone making it for us. But if I have guests, I love to cook for other people.
Right.
Yeah.
Crystal, I'm hungry.
That is funny. My wife said she's hungry now.
She's hungry. Everybody's hungry now.
She's always hungry. She's always hungry. It's like they say that watching mechanics' wife, their car is always over.
Right. The shoemaker's kids have no food. Right.
So you gotta go around and show us the restaurant?
Oh, I can, absolutely.
You could move. You could move there.
All right. Is there a way I can flip the screen on this, or I could just show you? All right, I'm not gonna spend.
That's a question for Pete. That's a question for Pedro. Not a clue.
I don't know how well you're going to see it, but I'll just give you a quick.
Wow. Okay.
That's good.
This is the back dining room.
A good vibe.
That's the pizza station and salad station there. This is that wall I was sitting from. We have this barrel 28 tapestry for special events when families want to take photos so that they have somewhere. You don't get the staff involved. You don't have pictures. You could just a nice place to call it a photo wall. It's gonna get dark. I don't have the lights on in the rest of the dining room, but I'll take a little quick walk through the kitchen.
The inside. Well, look how
Your
clean
office.
and neat. There's the office. Yeah.
And that's where I live. That's where I spend 60 hours a week, right there in front of that stove. That's me.
That's a lot. That's great though, but it's a lot.
We do have a downstairs basement prep area, which is good because if I do need to prep something during service, there's a place where someone can go, and they don't have to be on the line doing it.
Are you closed on Monday? Is that why?
We are closed on Mondays. Yeah, every once in.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
No, it's all right. We'll get
I
that.
can still hear you.
I can hear you. Okay, there we go. Drop my phone. My hand's getting tired. I have a clip here to hold my phone, but it fell off the table, and I've been holding my phone by hand here.
Oh no.
Yeah, I could tell you.
There it goes again. All right, I'm not even gonna mess with it. Just keep holding it. There we go. Sorry. But yeah, that's the back. That's the back dining room, the kitchen. We have about roughly 30 tables, and then in the summer we have 9 tables outdoors on the patio that
It's outdoor too.
that add to it, which is great.
So I know you're gonna go and view some competition. You're just gonna look and take a look, and you probably enter like next year or something like that, right?
Yeah, we had desired to participate in Taste of Vernon, which is in Vernon, New Jersey, which is pretty close to us here. We were invited, and I think there's certain lacks of equipment that we have at this point for off-premises catering that we need to get lined up or just plan it a little better. I think that I think it'd be better to just go. I'm not sure what the venue is and what exactly. It's hard to get an idea of what I'm going to make for 160 people if I don't know what I can cook on.
So you're just gonna go look, see, right?
Yeah, I think this year it's April 22nd. It is a charity. All the proceeds go to a charity, which is awesome. And they choose 3 of the best. And then when they pick the best restaurant, you get Facebook notoriety, and the Chamber of Commerce comes and has their mixers at your restaurant, which is awesome.
Nice.
That's cool.
So I'm going to go and participate, not on the competition end, but be a patron of it and see what it'll be like next year. Give me a better idea of what I can execute with what's available.
This would be your
I think
first
that's a great
competition?
idea.
This would be your first competition.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's the way you got to do things. You got to go and look and see, and then if you want to participate, you participate. You know, I don't think that people should jump blind into something.
I agree.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I think with your talent, man, you already won it just from seeing those plates. That now I'm thinking about going and eating.
Food Network needs to get on Food Network.
So what have you done to calm yourself down from, when you have all that stress? I mean,
I think finding time to center and meditation is key. I mean, honestly, when I was younger, I went out and partied, and that's what I was referring to before. That I mean, that's the easy button in this industry is to go out with the staff and have a rough day the next day. But not anymore. I read. I honestly like watching all the cooking shows that are out there.
Wow.
I think that the culinary world has changed. I think the Food Network changed it back about 25 years ago when it started making mainstream all the things that were getting done in restaurants, and now you can get all the food that you need to make those dishes in the supermarkets. But it's a place that I can very easily see what's going on in the industry and see techniques without having to go to a class or a school. And but meditation, I think meditation is key. Finding the time to let myself become empty and let all the things go, because too many
Mhm.
minds, mind the stove, mind the staff, mind the work hours, mind the job, mind the service. I have to let it all go, or otherwise it just
Yeah.
becomes too much. So it's key. You can see it in my personality if I haven't had that time, so I find it key to find that time.
Hmm. You know what I believe, and you heard me speak before, so you know my mind pretty much. One of the things that I believe is that it's not detachment that hurt, but attachment to things. Like for instance, if I take my hand, I put it inside hot water, the attachment with that hot water is going to hurt me. The attachment. But as soon as I detach, because it's also the same thing in relationship. Like when you have a relationship, oh, we broke up, and everybody thinks that is the detachment that hurts, but it's actually the attachment to things. So when you mention letting go, you know, so when you have holding on to those things that are putting you in a place where you know that you don't belong, it's important to learn to say, I'm going to let that go now, and then come back.
Absolutely.
So if you're not attached to the things that happen, because no matter how happy I am in gymnastics, coaching gymnastics, what people don't see is the bad things. The bad things that happen because nobody sees that. The kids don't see that. The parents don't see that. And but if you hold on to those things and you just think about the bad things that are happening, and of course it's going to break you down. You know, because we tend to think more about the bad things. It's human nature than the good things. That's why I mentioned before when you were talking. I said the fact that people are coming back and your restaurant is full all the time. That's all you need really, because if you weren't doing a good job, people will not be coming back.
Absolutely.
So I tell my kids, hold on to your win, to your W's, because a lot of times we forget that we have more W's than we have L's. You
Yeah,
know.
100%.
So
Yeah.
so when you sit, and
Good advice.
I'm so happy to hear you say that you sit down quietly, because people sometimes put a stigma to meditation, but all you have to do is sit down quietly, breathe in, breathe out, relax, and then put yourself in a place where you feel good about yourself. You should always feel good about yourself
It's very
because it's not what other people say.
100%.
I feel like as soon as the intention is there to meditate, you've succeeded. It's
Yeah.
everyone has their own technique. It's people get caught up on I don't know how to meditate, and it's is the moment that you put the intention forth and start to control your breathing and let things go, you're there. And it's been very important in my life throughout many years, and it helps a lot.
Hmm. Just be
I think
mindful of that. Yeah.
I
Go
think
ahead.
intention in general is important in this industry, and probably I know this industry, but when you put the intent out there, like you said, you can't hold on to the L's. I think it plays into the law of attraction that if you're putting it out there, that's what you're going to get back. And if you spend more time on the positive and thinking about the positive, more positive is going to come. And maybe
Yeah.
it's just the perspective that you have that maybe you're looking at it in a positive light, but the benefit is there.
Yeah. I wrote in one of my books that there's no such thing as negative. Everybody's positive. It's just that some people are positive about the wrong thing.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah, I'm positive that I'm going to fail.
Yes. Yes.
So when they say that, and the word that you're using, intention, is very important because I never seen someone go in the car and say, "Let me put my GPS, but I want to put it to a place where I don't want to go."
Right. Right.
So you start with an intention. This is where I want to go. That's your intention. No matter what you do in life. Even when I go and teach my kids, I tell them I have an intention to make them better. Sometimes they don't cooperate with that, but eventually I want them to think that they are part responsible, not just the coach. You know, and what you do is so important because you make people happy when they come out and they taste that food. I mean, just looking at it, gives me a good feeling.
Right.
Just looking at it gives me a good feeling. So that's so important that people come out, and spend whatever money they do, and you make them happy. And even if they don't say that, you are making them happy.
Right. Right.
Awesome. Thank you. I appreciate it. That's a good perspective. I think it's important as well to, when you mentioned the GPS and the destination, it just made me think that of goals and having them set and you never get to where you're going unless you know where you're going. You'll end up somewhere, but it's not going to be where you wanted to go unless you set a destination. And so I think it's important to have your goals set out in front of you. If you want to be the best, you have to work with the best. You have to stay teachable, stay humble, and
you can't get derailed. It's hard sometimes when the GPS, brings you on that one or two times where it's not bringing you exactly the direction you thought it was going to take you in. And so when those things happen too, you can't let that cover you. You have to be able to let that go. Mourn your that loss for a little bit of time, but then just move on through that, because we're all going to fail or have a negative experience. That's right. It's important with what you do.
That what the GPS used to say. I don't think they say that anymore, but it used to say recalculating.
Yeah, right.
Didn't tell
what, recalculating?
Yeah, it used to say recalculating. It changed, the direction. There's a lot of things out there, like people say, it's not the destination, it's the journey. But no one could take a journey without having a destination.
Correct.
Yeah. You can enjoy the journey. Just make sure you know where you're going. That's all.
Exactly. You know where you're going. That's exactly it. Yeah. Brian, it's been a pleasure. It's been too long since I talked to you. And that I was telling Cris before that that I've forgotten how much time we spent together. That I've forgotten that you actually went to my mother's house.
I was thinking about that.
And when you told me that, I said, oh my goodness, that was right. We went to Chinatown. We had massages.
I got acupuncture.
We did a lot of trips together. So it's a pleasure always to talk to you. And we're definitely going to go down there. Let me see.
Pleasure to meet you.
Pleasure to meet you as well, Cris. Thank you so much for having me.
It's great. Crystal.
My wife being funny there. Well, it's possible make a legal U-turn.
That's what they used to say.
Yeah, that's what it is too. When possible.
Recalculating.
Okay, we really calculated this well,
I look forward to meeting you in person and having
absolutely, and you as well, Cris. Thank you.
It's great to meet you.
And for everyone that tuned in, make sure that you go down there on the subscribe and go and see Brian over there at Barrel 28.
Are you on social media, Brian? Is the restaurant's on social media?
Yeah, the restaurant's on social media. Barrel 28 Restaurant. You can find us on Instagram. You can find us on Facebook. I also have my own Facebook and Instagram. It's Brian Conklin on Facebook and Chef Brian Conklin on Instagram. And I link all my stuff both to my personal and to the restaurants as well. So that's
nice. Go and add and follow and like and whatever.
Yeah, follow and go and eat.
Yeah, Barrel 28 Restaurant, Florida, New York, 28 North Main Street, guys. Come check us out.
It's not that far from here.
And who was commenting before? Mark, you said? His name's Mark?
Yeah, the Barrel 28 logo. I'm pretty sure that's one of the owners, Mark Lombardo.
Okay, so Mark.
Either that or it was the other owner, Rob Knievel, one of the others, logged in on the Barrel 28 Facebook.
Great guy here, Mark and Ron.
So we're gonna say hello to both of them.
Yeah.
And we'll see you soon. Okay.
All right. Yeah, not so long this time. I'll have to give you a call. We'll catch up. Thank you very much for having me, guys.
It's Mark.
It's Mark.
Oh, it's Mark.
Thank you, Mark.
Thanks,
We'll
Mark.
see you soon. Okay, Brian?
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys. Thank you very much for having me. Everybody have a great night.
You as well.
You too.
That was great.
Yeah, he's an awesome guy.
You can tell that I'm saying that again, the pride in what he does.
Mm-hmm.
Just to speaking about his cooking and serving people and what he does, you can tell, very inspirational.
Yeah.
And that he started out doing those entry-level positions.
Yeah.
You know, it's very important. People forget you have to climb.
Keep his eyes open.
You can't just be there. You
and
know?
he's very positive. He's very positive, which is good. You know, and he wanted to bring that up, and I think that he landed it. Where mental health could be, it could destroy you, but he learned how to overcome that, which is good. Well, this is our show for tonight. I want to thank Cris for coming on.
Thanks, Crystal. Thanks, Adrian.
And we're going to have you on, to do your thing. I know that you've written some songs.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
By the way.
We're going to have a good time.
Okay. So, bye, baby. I'll talk to you later.
Bye,
from over there in.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Yes, and we'll see you. Not next week. Next week we're gonna have a dark night. Hold on. I'm gonna take some personal night, and we're gonna take a personal night.
Good.
Then we're coming back on the 29th.
Good.
Okay.
I'll be watching.
With
Good night,
that,
everyone.
Say.
Have a great rest of the week.
Love, peace, and harmony.
Absolutely.
If you have love, you have peace. If you have peace, you have harmony. Bye-bye.
Bye.